All right, we are live on the Coach Eli Television Network, YouTube, Facebook, and D Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight on this beautiful, amazing, and very, very hot weekend. It's Saturday, and it's very hot here in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's been around 95 degrees for the past several days, and you know, we've got those fires up north from us, and that smoke is working its way down south. And between the smoke and the heat, oh man, the air quality is horrible. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Doing the best I can with what I've got. Yeah, it is Saturday, August 28th, 2021. If you're here watching live, welcome. If you're watching on the replay, stick around for the entire show because this entire show has evergreen content. This will make sense now and into the future, well into the future. I have another great topic here to discuss tonight, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. But before we get to that, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it absolutely has. It absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure it's rolling smoothly, and it is. Facebook on the back end is rolling well, and so is D Live. Now let me just check out the front end of everything. Yes. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube. YouTube is rolling well on the front end. Let's check out Facebook. Facebook is rolling well, and D Live. D Live. Facebook is rolling well, and D Live. Well, D Live is rolling well. Okay, give me just a second. Whew, okay. It's interesting to me that I just got a message from a woman on one of the dating sites I'm on, and I'll just read it real quick here at the beginning of this show. Thank you, Eli. I think you are right. I have met someone, and even though still very much in the early stages, I want to be 100% honest and present and present for it. Sorry. All the very best to you. Ma'am, if you're focused on this one guy, then why is your dating profile still active? You see, that's the thing that, man, you're just not interested in me, right? Right? If I was a better option than the guy that you're getting to know supposedly, you would have still been talking with me at the same time as talking with him. Either that or, if you're really into this guy, you would put your dating profile on hidden. You would hide it, right? Oh, man, I've got a hell of a show for you folks here tonight. So let's get right to it, and hopefully the stream will be smooth tonight. Hopefully the internet's running well tonight. It's been running very well lately. The topic of today's show is women respectfully discuss modern dating in a male forum and a dating story. One more time, women respectfully discuss modern dating in a male forum and a dating story. Here's how tonight's show is going to go. And if you're on Facebook and D Live, I will be periodically checking in to see if there are any questions, comments, or concerns. I primarily focus on YouTube. If you want to be a part of the YouTube side of things, just come to my YouTube channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, or go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. All right, so here's how tonight's show is going to go. First, I'm going to share with you folks a dating interaction I've been having with this woman from one of the dating apps I'm using. And then I'm going to, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I know what I was going to do. I have two Reddit postings to share tonight, one directly related to the topic, the other one, which I will read and go over once I share my personal story here in a second, is one that I'll just read you the topic here. My date told me I should have worn. I should have worn a skirt. Past tense. God, these young bucks have horrible grammar. My God. To see him instead of pants. Should I be offended? This is a woman writing this. In the subreddit dating. My date told me I should have worn a skirt to see him instead of pants. Should I be offended? Well, ma'am, it all depends. We'll share more about that in just a second here, but you know why he wants you to wear a skirt. When I was younger, we used to call that easy access, when the woman wears a skirt, right? Now, look, I'm 47 years old, right? I can crack a joke like that every now and then, but I'm a lot more mature, and I'm not looking for easy access to the box. Let's just call it the box, right? Y'all know what the box is, right? But yeah, sounds like you two are in your 20s, maybe in your late teens or early 20s, and this guy is just a bit immature. Maybe he's very good looking and cute and has some confidence, but has no tact and doesn't understand what's going to keep a woman attracted to him, besides his good looks, right? He's probably a good-looking guy, which is why you're talking with him, right? So we'll get to that in just a little bit here. But let's get to that story from one of the dating apps I've been using. I don't think this woman blocked me. She didn't block me. So we're gonna go first of all, and I'm gonna read you her profile. I'm not gonna show this on the screen, okay? For obvious reasons, right? We want to protect the supposed innocent, right? So this is a 48-year-old woman who lives in the Bay Area, and she's 5'4". She says she's about average. I think she's a little bit better looking than average. She seems cute. She seems like she's 5'4", about 120, maybe 130 pounds. So if I was her, I'd probably change that to athletic and fit or slender because she is. But hey, that's a humble way to look at it. I can respect that. She has a bachelor's degree. She's a registered nurse, which is great job. She helps people, right? I actually respect nurses a lot. And she doesn't mention what her marital status is. Obviously, she's single, but she doesn't mention whether she's divorced or she had kids out of wedlock. And that, to me, is a red flag. She's trying to hide something there, right? She drinks sometimes, depends on the day. So, if the day is really rough, she'll drink instead of find other ways to, ease the tension, right? I'm not trying to stereotype or judge, but I honestly think that people that put, they drink sometimes, depends on the day, means that sometimes they're dependent on alcohol to feel better after going through something rough, rather than just talking it out with a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a family member, right? There are better ways to resolve issues than to resort to alcohol. She exercises 3 to 4 times per week, and it shows. She's in good shape for a 48-year-old woman. She's cute. She takes care of herself. She's attractive, okay? And likes a lot of the same things I enjoy, hiking, the outdoors, too much to mention, right? Too much to mention, but you get the hint, right? Now, let me read you her profile real quick. In their own words, I'm a mom of all boys and would have it no other way. 2 are grown and 1 is well on his way. Okay? So she has 3 kids, right? Being a boy mom, so all boys, wow. I think it is fair to say that I like sports. So you're kind of like a tomboy, which is great. I like that. A lot. In caps, exclamation point. Especially basketball with a blue and yellow heart, and baseball with an orange and black heart, exclamation point. I love all things outdoors, and I'm in love with nature. Same here. Great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm also a total nerd and love to read actual books and watch documentaries. That's telling me this woman, while she's outgoing and loves nature and she's sporty, she's a little more introverted than extroverted and probably a little bit more on the conservative side of things. Okay? But that's fine. That's okay. No problem. I don't judge. Right? So I'm a total nerd and love to read actual books and watch documentaries. With the big glasses smiley emoji. This woman likes to use a lot of emojis. For a 48-year-old that uses this many emojis, that could also be a red flag. I'm also in the wine tasting, cabs, with the emoji with the big heart sticking out of her eyes, as well as microbrewery hopping. I have a good collection of both. So you like the bar scene, and it sounds like you like a lot of alcohol. I wouldn't be surprised if this woman, whether she's an alcoholic or not, resorts to alcohol when times are tough. That's a red flag. So she writes, the online dating thing has worked well for me so far. It fits my busy adulting life, and it is easier to find people with like interests. I agree with you on that. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. It's like, shopping online. You could shop for a boyfriend, right? You could put in criteria and, find someone that, closely suits what you're looking for. But you're never going to find the exact same thing that you're looking for. I'd love to meet that one person that makes me want to delete this app for good. But having fun with it until then. There's the biggest red flag right there. I'd love to meet the one person that makes me want to delete this app for good, but having fun with it until then. So until I find that right guy that I can settle down with and I feel, meets me at my level and checks all my boxes, I'm going to have fun and play, right? All right. All good. Okay, whatever. On the final note, I only work 3 days-ish a week. So you probably work 3 12s as a nurse. I know nurses that work 3 12s and then have 4 days off. It's great to have those 4 days off, but after those 3 days in a row, typically one of those 4 days, you're sleeping and resting. So technically, you're going to have 3 days, maybe 2.5 days to do something because you're going to want to rest the night before you go back to work for another 3 12s. I understand that. I know a lot of nurses. I have a lot of nurse friends. So on the final note, I only work 3 days days-ish a week, but on my work days, my hours are long and my time is occupied. I can't really respond to messages or anything, but I do always message back. Just thought I'd throw that out there. She does, and she did get back to me. We'll get that in a second. Last but not least, it is a total turnoff when his first message/question to her is also answered in the first sentence of her bio. That means the guy didn't take the time to read the profile. I agree with you on that, man. Sounds like you're, using dating sites and dating apps as wisely as I use them. You don't want to have your time wasted. You want to get to the point. I get it. In contrast, she's very nerdy, introverted, and that's probably why it won't work out with this woman. I mean, I love a smart woman, but you'll see what I'm saying in a second here. In contrast, it is a total turn on when he knows the last thing/word in her bio. Hashtag basketball. And then she uses that emoji with the hearts, popping out of the eyes, the love eyes, right? All right. So on her pictures, she has captions, the 3 things that make a relationship great. Number 1, honesty. Number 2, trust. Number 3, passion. Okay, this is good. I like it. So yeah, no, I mean, well-written profile. Well-written profile. So I wrote her a message because I was interested to get to know her. She sends me 3 crying out of laughter emojis, 3 dots, And she writes, "You so SOOO extra." Hashtag, and then she puts a red flag. Oh, red flag, ma'am. I didn't catch on to that initially, but she got back. This was about 3 days ago. I wrote, "What does that mean?" right when I got the message. She got back to me literally an hour or so before I went live and wrote, "You really don't know, question mark? Okay, I feel like an ass then." Well, ma'am, I'm very honest in my profile. I'm not a jerk. I'm not an idiot. I'm not an asshole. I just want to be with someone that's going to respect me as a man, and I can respect her as a woman. And we can equally respect and support each other and be there for each other. Then she wrote back another message. "I read your message, and I also read your bio. Dude, I'm not one to waste your time." Dude? What woman calls a guy dude? That's masculine energy, man. Masculine energy. That's not feminine at all, right? Dude, I'm not one to waste your time, but if you ever want just a little constructive feedback, I'd be happy to give it to you. No, that's okay, man. Well, I'm open to it, man, but man, you're thinking I'm some kind of beta man, or some arrogant pompous ass, man. No, the truth of the matter is I'm a very smart dude, and I understand life, and I understand modern day female nature. This is what's really happening here, ma'am. Okay? She goes, "Your bio is a total," and then she puts the red flag and puts red flag in parentheses, thinking that I didn't see the red flag. I don't know. Maybe you get a lot of responses, but not by any woman I've ever known. It's pretty harsh. Yeah, ma'am. I don't get responses. Well, I do sometimes get responses, but it never works out with radical feminists, ma'am. That's what you are. You're a radical feminist, right? That's the way you're choosing to be, man. You're flexing your muscles, right? You're acting more masculine than feminine. You're calling me dude instead of, "Hey, Eli, interesting profile. Wow, little upfront. Tell me a little bit more about why you feel that way." You could have approached it in the feminine way, man, but you flexed your muscles. "I am woman, hear me roar. I am liberated. I'm independent," right? That's an attractive man. You want to talk about red flags? Your behavior and the way you respond, or you responded to me and probably respond to other people, is the reason why you're still single. And any guy that gives you the time of day is not going to be the type of guy you're looking for, because they're going to be the beta man, and you don't want the beta man, right? Because you're not going to get an alpha man or an alpha male behaving this way, man. You're acting like a dude. You're acting like a man. So again, I don't know. Maybe you get a lot of responses, but not by any woman I've ever known. It's pretty harsh. Well, ma'am, that's your opinion. It's actually not harsh. It's very honest and truthful, and lots of women have told me that. She writes, a third paragraph, SOOO. "This woman felt the need to write me 3 paragraphs even though she's not interested. She wants to give me a piece of her mind." I'm not triggered. I'm laughing, right? So, unsolicited or solicited, I'm just saying, ... The conclusive narrative. Ma'am, you sound so exciting. What is this, a documentary, ma'am? You are really nerdy, ma'am, which is fine. I like a good nerd, but I also like a woman that's outgoing and feminine. The conclusive narrative I got from reading your bio was that you are a super controlling person to be with because you have so many rules. I'm not controlling at all, ma'am. I'm actually very laid back, and I'm very good to a woman that's the right woman. I just don't want to deal with a man. I just don't want to deal with a woman that behaves more masculine than feminine. I don't want to deal with a radical feminist. I don't want to deal with a woman that's going to flex her muscles on me all the time and say, "I am woman, hear me roar. I've been liberated. I'm now independent. I don't need a man for anything." You're not saying that directly, ma'am, but you're behaving in that way, and it's unattractive. And that's why I wrote my profile the way I did. And ma'am, if you weren't the type of woman I was discussing, in the part of my profile where I state I'm not looking for a woman that exudes more masculine and feminine energy, it wouldn't trigger you, ma'am. You're triggered because I nailed it with you. That's the truth of the matter. Not trying to be rude or mean. Well, I don't think you are really trying to be rude or mean, ma'am. I think you've just been indoctrinated very deeply into the radical feminist agenda. And it's affecting your dating life, man. That's why you're single. You're very attractive. You've got a great job as a nurse. You've got 3 boys. So there's no reason why you should be single. I'm sure you get hit on by a lot of guys. So why are you still single, ma'am? You want to ask me why I'm single? Because the women that I'm attracted to, physically and such, they behave like you. And the majority of women are behaving like you nowadays. That's why. Not trying to be rude or mean, just giving you honest feedback since I was such a smartass and your message back to me seemed so authentic. Ma'am, I know you were being a smartass. And I responded to you in a way to show you that your response didn't faze me. That you're not dealing with a beta mon here that's going to, oh yeah, you're right. It was a little harsh. I'm going to go change it. No, I'm not changing shit. I'm not changing anything. I am an authentic guy. That's the real me. You said it, ma'am. Wish you the best for real. So she hasn't blocked me yet, but I wrote back to her. And she read the message. So who knows? Maybe she'll get back. Maybe she won't. This is a woman that I would have a conversation with on the phone, whether it works out or not, right? Just out of curiosity. And if it doesn't work out, whether it works out or not, I'll make content out of it. I want to share with you folks what you guys are up against nowadays. And I want to also share to the women out there, what not to do if you don't want to be lonely and single for a very long time. Critical Mass Blog, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the show, bro. I see your picture there on your channel icon. That's awesome, bro. Thank you for being here. How are things going for you this weekend? Is it warm where you're at? It's pretty hot here in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California. So here's what I wrote back to her. I get tons of responses from good women that are in the right place for dating and women not trying to one-up men. Ma'am, you're trying to one-up me. And I don't think you're trying to do it on purpose. I think you're just reacting in a way that you've seen society head towards with other women. You're following the agenda, man. You've been brainwashed by the agenda. So no, I don't really think that you're trying to one-up me. But other women have tried to do that. And I don't want to deal with a woman like that. And then I was honest. I'm like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I am not a beta as well. I wanted to make it clear that I'm not a beta, right? Even though I don't feel the need to say that, I wanted this woman to understand where I'm coming from, right? I know exactly what I'm doing in this crazy modern dating world we all currently live in. Ma'am, you're never going to have any other guy respond to you honestly, genuinely, and respectfully as myself. I'm being real here. I'm being real. How about this, I wrote. Have one phone conversation with me and see for yourself. If nothing else, you'll know the truth. What do you say, right? I doubt she'll give me her number, and I'll doubt she'll want to have that phone conversation. She'll pass, right? But this is one of those women where I'm just going to throw it out there, and you never know what happens. We may have a phone conversation, and it may lead to nothing. Or what if I have a conversation with her, and then she starts to realize, Eli, you're really not that bad of a guy after all. Your profile is totally misleading. No, my profile is not misleading. I'm a good dude, and I respect women. I'm not being disrespectful, and I don't have a laundry list of 300 items like most women have when seeking a dating partner. But I've dealt with so many women, and I've invested so much time with so many women that appeared to be the right woman and ended up not being the right woman for one of these many reasons I'm listing here in my profile. And I don't want to waste my time with any woman, again, that is these ways I'm discussing in my profile. And quite frankly, it's been a great filter because I've connected with tons of women and met with tons of women and, have had some pretty interesting experiences, but some decent experiences too. Ma'am, I bet you I meet more women than you meet men. You see, here's the thing. These women are getting a lot more, connections. They're getting a lot more guys messaging them on these apps, right? And connecting, right? But I could bet you I've met more women, at least for a first date to see if there's anything there, than a woman like this has ever met, even though she probably gets 10 times as many matches or messages than I do. So, if anything changes, I'll keep you posted. And, that's that. It is what it is. That's what we're up against nowadays. Critical Mass Vlog says, not too bad. Not too bad. Facebook and D Live are clear. I feel really good today, Mass. I feel really good. I got to get out there. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a mobile live stream and an in-studio stream. I had some plans for this weekend, and I canceled them myself. I had some pretty fun and interesting plans, but I decided not to make these plans because it just didn't seem right. So you'll probably get a couple pieces of content from me tomorrow, or who knows? I may even come back and do a late night stream tonight. There's a topic I've been wanting to discuss, and I've already created the stream. It's just sitting there on private. I was going to do it the other night, but I was kind of tired, needed to catch up on some rest. And we're still monetizing the stream. That's good. It's a vanilla topic. It's the topic is called cleanse your soul and clear your conscience now and start moving forward. One more time, cleanse your soul and clear your conscience now and start moving forward. I may come back and do a late night stream tonight because I was going to do it late night the other night, and I used my late night with Coach Eli thumbnail, so I don't want to have to redo it. But I'm just trying to figure out when the right time is to do that topic because I have some interesting things to share, and I'll just leave it at that for right now. Critical Mass Blog says, all right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to the browser screen here. We are at 27 minutes. And this is from the subreddit dating. And the title, once again, is My Date Told Me I Should Have Wore a Skirt. It's worn, past tense. I'll read it properly. My date told me I should have worn a skirt to see him instead of pants. Should I be offended? I need advice, says this woman in the subreddit dating. And she writes, so I went out on a second date with a guy I've been talking to for 2 weeks. And the first date, I wore a dress and he gave me a lot of compliments. But last night, I wore tight leggings and a tank top because we were going out for Mexican food. Place was super casual and bowling. And he made this comment saying, I wish I could really see your legs. And I was like, you can see them? And he was like, no, I really want to see them in a mini skirt. Leggings get in the way. These two must be in their early 20s or so, right? This guy's probably pretty good looking. She's probably pretty cute, right? Right? She's wearing a tank top, which a tank top is typically cut on the top, right? You probably see, if she's chesty, you could probably, see the tight tank top conform to her chest, right? And she wore tight leggings. Like, dude, she's dressing in a way to the point of where she's looking attractive for you. she's trying to tell you, dude, I'm dressing this way because I think you're a good-looking guy and you seem to be a fun, decent guy. And, dude, if you play your cards right, you may get into my box tonight, right? You know what the box is, right? But this dude is, not happy, or I wouldn't say he's not happy, but this dude, is saying, I would prefer to have you in a miniskirt. Leggings get in the way. Dude, I think leggings are pretty sexy, bro. Dude, as you get older, you're going to realize that the less skin a woman shows, the more intriguing it is because it's that sense of anticipation. If you get to the point of getting intimate at some point, whether it's that night or the next date, you have to take those off and reveal what's underneath. This dude is just very inexperienced and sounds like a bit controlling to me. Sounds like maybe, he was raised in a family where, his father was very strict and was controlling to his mother. And that's the type of, behavior he saw in his home. So he's replicating the behavior that he learned from his parents. That's what happens, right? I kind of cried inside, said this woman. I felt like he was saying I looked ugly. No, it wasn't the fact. He wasn't saying that, ma'am. He's a horny young guy that basically practically wants to see you as close to naked as possible, even in public. But because in public you have to dress up, right? You can't be naked. So that's what he wants, and he probably wants easy access in case something happens in the car, or if you go to the beach, or if you go somewhere where you can have a little fun, right? Okay. Anyways, is this my fault? Nope, not at all, ma'am. You're just dealing with a very inexperienced and insecure and immature guy. And should I drop him? Abso-freaking-lutely. I would have already dropped him. And I'm a dude saying that. He didn't compliment how I looked last night either. Well, that should say a lot. Because honestly, you still dress pretty sexy. And quite frankly, to me, I would prefer, women can dress any way they want to dress when they meet me, but I would prefer a woman dress more conservatively, at least initially, when we're getting to know each other. And if she's going to dress a little less conservative, I don't want her to do it in the form of a skirt or something that is overly provocative, right? And makes her appear like a call girl. Let's just call it that, right? Instead, I like a sporty woman. Maybe she can wear some shorts, and that way you can see her legs. And she can wear like maybe a nice tight t-shirt, and that can conform to her body. And even if she wears a hat, that'd be cute too. We can go hiking, right? This guy just doesn't get it, right? This guy came from a family where more than likely his father was very controlling to the entire family. He's probably the breadwinner, very old school, and he was controlling to his mother. And again, he's just replicating that behavior right here. That's exactly what's going on. Run. Which leggings are good for? Joseph, Joestar approves of this message. Okay. Epic postscript. Haha, touche. Sometimes it is hard to run in a skirt. Come on, guys. Be a little more mature here. Let me check out the chat real quick. And it looks like we are in the clear. We are at 34 minutes. Let me go through some of these comments here, and then we'll take a break in about 5 to 10 minutes and come back for one more segment to go over the Reddit posting that directly pertains to the topic. That's going to be really good. This is I'm just throwing this one in here. This was a really interesting post. I would have replied, "You're right," got up and said, "I'm going to go change and leave to never go back." I wouldn't do that. That's playing games. I would just say, hey, look, if you don't like this about me, I think we should just end the date, right? But this woman is inexperienced. Let me tell you something. The women that I deal with out here in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, Northern California, they wouldn't put up with this crap one bit. So I don't know, where you folks are from. Now, I'm not saying there aren't women like this woman here in the Bay Area. There are, but there aren't as many. We live in a different type of environment, and I just think this woman isn't experienced. Maybe this is one of her first experiences, or maybe her second experience, and she hasn't learned how to stand up for herself yet. But this is what's going to teach her that. Good one. And yes, the French exit a classic. I'm French, and we call this an Irish goodbye. Yes, I'm English, and we all sat Irish exit. I think you meant to say said Irish exit. I'm American, and we also use this phrase. Okay, cool. I've never heard of it before. You learn something new every day. LOL, I didn't know it was French. They have the solution to so many things. One more reply. Girl, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red alert, alert, eject, eject. I'm a guy, and yes, 4 red flags. Even I'm a guy, and I'll put 100 red flags. If she sticks around with this guy, he's going to be controlling and abusive, because that's probably how his father treated his mother. I am human, and flag all the way. Here's one of those women that's saying, gender doesn't matter. It's all about equality. I am human. You're a woman. Come on. Don't, God, Jesus Christ. Very progressive world we live in nowadays, right? I am human, and red flag all the way. You wore leggings, and he's saying he can't see your legs. This dude could have probably had her in his bed, right? First date, she wears a skirt. Then she agrees to the second date and wears a tight tank top and sexy leggings. And this dude is not happy with that? Jesus Christ. Object, permanence issues. Will he be confused by colorful eyeshadow and keys? I mean, at least to get him off a sensitive topic, all you have to do is play peekaboo. That's that's funny, man. Change his hairstyle. Who are you, LOL? I mean, if he became a problem, that's a quick dodge. One bathroom montage of dyed hair and clothing change, and she's out the door with him having no clue. You don't even have to go through it to that level. Just leave. Just tell him. Give him the option. Hey, dude, if you don't like the way I'm dressed, let's end this date now. Right? She didn't stand up for herself. Why even spend the money on hair dye? Put on a hat, and he's none the wiser. Oh, yeah, cost-effective camouflage. They're just all laughing in here saying, man, you could have just, found a way to exit the date. I would have just been direct. I don't appreciate what you're saying. If you don't like me for who I am, then let's end the date now. That's what I would have said if I was her. Yeah, he does seem to be operating at an infant level of maturity. That's exactly what I was saying. He's immature. He's also insecure. He also probably has issues stemming back to his childhood. Like I keep saying, his father is probably a controlling guy, and he probably controlled his mother, and that's what he saw growing up. So he's replicating that behavior. So I'd have to agree with you and say it is a strong possibility. I'm a gamer, and there's definitely a mine under that title. Okay, good point. Right. I'm normally never the type to say, but it is possibly the reddest flag I can imagine. Yeah, this guy would be abusive and controlling if she kept him around. Same. I agree 100%. It is clearly obvious he just wants you for the way you look. That would be a huge red flag for me. And I am also a guy. If he or she would only want to see me in a specific outfit, red flag times 5 there. I agree. I'm a dude, and I have no respect for this guy. I actually respect this woman. She seems very feminine and very sweet. and going way out of her way to please this guy. Dude, you're one of the most fortunate guys to get a feminine woman, and you don't know what to do with her. And you belittle what she's wearing. Ma'am, I'll take you on the date. Yep, I can't believe this is even a question on here. I agree. Now, wait a minute. Let's talk about this now. Be glad he showed you who he is right away. Wear whatever the fuck you want. I agree. Preach. Right. What the fuck? Tight leggings and a tank top sounds cute as fuck. I agree. I'll take this woman on the date. Go on a third date, a trench coat and snow pants. And tell him he'll never see your legs again and leave. Just kidding. Don't ever talk to him again. Dude, that was hilarious. WTF, tight leggings and a tank top sounds cute AF. Go on a third date in a trench coat and snow pants and tell him he'll never see your legs again and leave. That would be, dude, that's funny. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Now I pre-read this earlier. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Give me a second here. Let me check out the chat real quick. One person on Facebook. Say hello if you're on Facebook, and I will be periodically checking in. And D Live is clear, and YouTube is clear. Okay. Let's read a few more here. We are at 41 minutes. We're going to be taking a break in a few minutes here. This reply, though, she does need the comeback. That's funny. That was funny, they said, too, right? Seriously, that sounds like an awesome outfit. Like, I'm a dude, and if I could get away with it, I'd totally wear leggings and a tank top. Now they're having fun with it. They're showing this guy, or they're showing this woman that this guy is ridiculous. And these guys are just playful and fun. Love is playful and fun. And that's how these guys are reacting. These are healthy men right here responding. I work out and I want to show it off, and women's clothes just plain do that better. That's hilarious, man. Don't be offended. Be angry. This guy met you twice and already trying to degrade, control, manipulate you. Toss him to the curb like the garbage that he is. This is a woman that's angry and bitter. She's right about what she's saying, but she's not responding to it maturely. I wouldn't listen to this woman. I would do what she says. But when she says toss him to the curb like the garbage that he is, there's no need for you to stoop down to this guy's level. Maybe he is garbage, and maybe he does deserve to be tossed to the curb, but you don't need to think that or say that. You're a mature, grown woman. Hey, this is not working for me. We're going to end the date and just exit stage right. That's it. Came here to say this. Don't let anyone make you feel like you lack value, even yourself, but especially people who do it like this. Bye, Felicia. Right. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. One more time. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. Now, I'm not saying to not listen to other people's opinions, but don't let them get to you. People are going to talk smack about you. They're going to try to pull stuff on you throughout your entire life. It's up to you to choose what you want to participate in and what you don't want to participate in. Great comment there. A few more. We're going to take a break here. Exactly, these comments. His comments were gross. He sounds like a perv. Run away fast. Disgusting. I don't think he's a perv. I think he's a control freak. And I think he gets off on the element of being able to control people, especially a sexy woman. That's not healthy at all. All right. Oh, there's one more thing. Stop seeing him before he reels you in. This is narcissistic behavior and will only get worse. So my advice is to get out. I agree. I agree with this woman. This is the type of guy that he has confidence. And he's not acting like a beta male, but he's not acting like a secure. He's like an arrogant, pompous ass. He is narcissistic. and he has unresolved issues stemming back to his childhood, more than likely watching his father be controlling to his mother and replicating that behavior. So you're right, Weston Gestira. Whoops. All right. All right, so that's going to do it for this posting. I just figured I'd throw that in there. It was pretty interesting. When we get back, when I get back, we're going to be going to the subreddit Purple Debate. We're already there right now, and we're going to be reading a posting regarding the topic of this show, the main topic of the show. Do any of you not like the impact that modern feminism has had on dating, relationships, and gender dynamics? Why or why not? Do any of you not like the impact that modern feminism has had on dating, relationships, and gender dynamics? Why or why not? When I saw this come up on my feed today, I'm like, this is what I need to discuss. I want to discuss this. Because when I went through the comment section, lots of women were commenting, for the most part, in a very mature and respectful way. And I wanted you folks to see what these women are saying, and I'll share my feedback as well. That's what we're going to be talking about when I get back from the break, as the topic is women respectfully discuss modern dating in a male forum. That's coming up during the second half of the show in a few. And a dating story, which I shared at the beginning of this first segment. All right, we are at 46 minutes. I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music. So give me a second. I love the thumbnail of this show today. It says, Women Discuss Liberated Dating in 2021. Women discuss liberated dating in 2021. This is what it looks like on my feed here. Let's go back to full screen. And because it's kind of yellow there, my green screen is playing tricks. And you can't even see the yellow there. Because it's kind of like blending in with the green somehow. You see? That's weird. I don't understand why it's not showing the yellow. It's not green. That's actually yellow, and it's showing as blue text. It's being transparent. So, anyway. You get the gist of it, right? It's all good. Let's cue up that music, Eli. Cue it up, baby. Cue it up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for about an 8 to 10 minute break, and we'll get back to that Reddit posting regarding the topic right when I return. So stick around, stick around, stick around, stick around. We'll be right back. Oh yeah. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. It's a beautiful weekend. You know, folks, you should always feel like you're in a relaxed and peaceful state. There's no better feeling than being in a relaxed and peaceful state. Oh yeah. Sway to the left and sway to the right. Feels good. Alright, let's get back down to business here. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you're on Facebook and D Live and you want more than just these live stream in studio simulcasts, you're going to have to come over to YouTube, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. You can do that from your app on your smartphone, the YouTube app, while logged into your Google account, or logged into your Google account from your laptop or desktop. You can even search for me under Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Make sure you subscribe to the right channel, not any clones. The channel with over 4K subs. You're going to get pre-recorded videos exclusive to YouTube. You're also going to get exclusive mobile live streams from my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I will more than likely be doing one of those tomorrow. I haven't done one in a while, a Walking with Purpose stream. And a monetized channel on YouTube, and I do have a members-only package for as little as $4.99 per month. You can get all of my members-only content. I have members-only pre-recorded videos and members-only live streams and live stream replays. There are 5 packages ranging from $4.99 per month to $99.99 per month. They all get you the same thing. You just have to choose how much you feel it is worthy of sponsoring and supporting the channel on a monthly basis. And like I always say, donations and channel memberships are not required, but they're greatly appreciated. You can also donate via PayPal or Cash App. Nightbot sharing my PayPal and Cash App, Nightbot sharing my PayPal and Cash App links, which is what I'm trying to say, every 7 minutes or so in the YouTube chat. Those links are also in the description section of Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on D Live, just coming over to YouTube, and you'll see all the information there in the chat or the description section of the live stream or live stream replay. All right. So tonight we have been discussing women respectfully discuss modern dating in a male forum. Well, we're going to discuss that. We didn't get to that yet. And the dating story. That was the other part of the topic. I did share a dating story, and I also shared a bonus Reddit posting that was another dating story. So I practically shared 2 dating stories. One was mine, and one was someone else's. It was quite interesting. So now let's get to the actual topic. Women respectfully discuss modern dating in a male forum. Let's switch over to the browser screen. I can't even talk. I've been going pretty hard in the paint lately. I've been broadcasting every day. I need to take a day off soon and rest my voice. Rest is critical, folks. Don't overdo it. I'm just so passionate about this. I really look forward to coming out here as much as possible and, trying to help as many people as possible. But anyway. All right. This is from one of my favorite subreddits, Purple Pill Debate. And, the title, once again, is, do any of you not like the impact that modern feminism has had on dating? Well, I'd be lying to you if I said I liked it. I don't like the impact. It has had an impact, but it doesn't have to have an impact. So one more time, do any of you not like the impact that modern feminism has had on dating, relationships, and gender dynamics? So they're called gender roles. Why or why not? This guy took a line out of Coach Corey Wayne's videos. We all talk about the Chad and Tyrones of the world, which is what most women in their 20s go for, instead of going for the good guy, right? And look what he says right here. Wanna be Chad Thundercock. Wanna be Chad Thundercock. Well, you can be a thunder COCK and be a good guy and make your woman feel good in the bedroom with the thunder COCK. You don't have to be a Chad to do that. Question for women. Oh, look at this guy's screen name. His screen name is Bumbling Beta. Dude, that's horrible, bro. You're labeling yourself a beta? Come on, man. God, come on, man. Like Coach Corey Wayne says. Jesus Christ, man. All right. Let me check out Facebook and D Live real quick. All right. We're good. It is assumed that every woman agrees with feminism and the changes it has had on dating. Well, I think men agree with that too. I think we all have seen a tremendous shift in the dating world. So one more time, it is assumed that every woman agrees with feminism and the changes it has had on dating, relationships, gender dynamics, and society as a whole. Yeah, women are liberated. They're not dependent on men for survival anymore. They're independent. They're buying their own homes, their own cars, they're going to college, getting a degree, working in the corporate workforce, and a highly paid executive jobs, right? But is that really the case? Well, it shouldn't be, but it is. Are there any women here who are prepared to say that they don't like the impact feminism has had on these things? If so, why? You see, dude, this is the right place to actually ask that question, because you're in a male space and you're inviting women in. And I think these purple pill guys are okay with that, because purple pill guys are guys that still want to date. They just date with the caution and awareness of the red pill. They have red pill knowledge, right? Also, any women who do not agree with the impact feminism has had on these things can say too, I mean. Or if you agree with some things and disagree with others. So basically, bumbling beta. That's like the worst screen name or username you could use on any forum. Bumbling beta. And then he puts wannabe Chad Thundercock. Maybe you did it on purpose to get attention, dude. Let's see what the comment section states. Lots of women responded to this. Would much rather live in a world that had feminism than not. Well, I would agree with you to a certain extent. I think women having equal rights is great. Women should have always had equal rights. The right to vote, the right to bear arms, the right to work, equal pay for equal work, etc. Yada, yada, yada. But that's not what the issue is. The issue is not women having equal rights. The issue is the special privileges that women now feel they are, not all women, but many women feel they are entitled to, right? The mistake I see that has been made is the idea that we want equality instead of liberation. That's a great point. This woman gets it, right? See how reasonable this is? These women want equal rights from an equal rights standpoint, from a legal standpoint, right? They want to be able to have the option of doing anything a man has always been able to do, right? Including sexual liberation. So what she's saying here is that even though we have equal rights and we have the same rights and opportunities that once only men had, biologically as men and women we're different. Personally, I don't think it is liberating to have 50% female CEOs doing things that hurt workers or the environment. Well, if the female CEO is the right fit for the job, she should get the job over the man. This is not about, we need to have more women in these jobs to show diversity. This is about who's better qualified for the job. So I get what you're saying there. I don't think it is liberating for women to look at men as the default of sexual freedom and desire to emasculate them. Sorry, I mean, not emasculate, emulate them. Right. Wow. I agree. I don't think liberation is succeeding in a world men created in their image. We didn't create the world in our image. The world was built by men working hard and innovating things, right? Now, women are doing that nowadays, but back in the days, they didn't do that. They didn't want to do that. Women never wanted to do the things that they're doing nowadays because it's always been naturally out of their biological essence and purpose. Women being liberated artificially changed things. Now, again, women should have always had equal rights. And that's not a problem. But it has changed things in other ways that have hurt women and men. Women are out there now trying to act more masculine than feminine. They're trying to behave like guys, and that's unattractive to men. And then they're wondering why they're still single, right? The other day, an old Swedish lady was telling me that it should be 50-50 in every occupation, and if it is not, then it is because you created an environment which doesn't favor it. I think it is a dumb argument. The goal should be that everyone, irrespective of their gender, should have opportunity to do something they want, and after that, let the pieces fall where they go. So this is another woman here saying that there was an old Swedish lady, probably a radical feminist, was telling her that it should be 50-50 in occupation because that way we show diversity. So should we put women in positions they're not qualified for just to show diversity and to show that, the world is changing and women are being treated fairly? Or should we find the best person for the job based on their qualifications, whether they're a man or a woman, right? That's exactly what you're saying there. I've been preaching this for years now, right? Susan Wojcicki is the CEO of YouTube, and I think she's done an amazing job no matter what anyone says. I'm a strong man saying that. I will respect women that deserve my respect. If a woman is qualified more than any other man on the planet or other woman on the planet to do a job like that, I support it. If it wasn't for Susan Wojcicki and her passion and desire to keep YouTube going, we would not be here. YouTube has been through so much, and she's practically saved the company many times. Hats off to you, Susan. I greatly respect you. That would require forcing people into occupations they do not have any interest in and may in all likelihood hate. She wants an authoritarian central planner rather than freedom. It goes back to the story I've shared in the past regarding the conversation I had with my ex-girlfriend, Dana. And we were talking about this, and I said, babe, you have equal rights. You can do everything I can do, right? We were talking about it. I said, babe, let's say the power went out in your neighborhood, power line went down, and it's a stormy and rainy night with lightning and thunder. Babe, if they were paying you $500,000 a year, would you climb up that utility pole and risk being electrocuted with thunder and lightning to go and restore power? She's like, F no, babe, you can do that. I don't want to do a job like that. I'm happy with what I'm doing. But she also said, she goes, it's nice to know that I have a choice of doing that. I just personally don't like those types of jobs. That's an honest answer, right? And I think that's all women want. Women want to have the same opportunities should they choose to want to do those things, right? But we shouldn't have to put women in positions that they're not qualified for just to show that the change is happening and to show diversity. That's maybe trying to show that one side of the spectrum is heading in the right direction, but then you're not being fair to someone else that's more qualified for the job, especially if it was a man. Fair point, says the other person. Personally, I don't think it is liberating to have 50% female CEOs doing things that hurt workers or the environment. This person's responding to that part of someone else's comment above. That's the thing. You've got your terms mixed up. The current mantra is equity, equal outcome, equality, the ability to have similar starting points, and the freedom to make your own decisions and mistakes, regardless of the outcome, is equality. Right. Just because women have equal rights to be able to do anything and everything that once only men were able to do, doesn't mean they're qualified for all those things. And if they apply for jobs that they're not qualified for, and a man gets the job because they're better qualified, there's no discrimination involved, right? None at all. But some women, like the radical feminists, when they don't get that job because they know they're not as good as the other candidate, whether it be a male or a female, right? they get angry and bitter, and they try to weasel their way in by saying this is discrimination, and I'm going to sue the company for wrongful hiring practices, right? And then they have to create a position for her to keep her quiet, right? That's what I don't like about this whole thing. Most of the current backlash to feminism is the push for equity and intersectionality. We had equality for decades now. It didn't change society as much as activists wanted. So now it is on to equity. Yeah, they've been pushing really hard, during the third wave of feminism, which practically started in the early 90s. Now, I'm also hearing some people say we are now into the fourth wave of feminism and radical feminism. I'm using the word most people still use, liberation equals equity. I'm using the word most people still use. This person's responding to the above comment. I suggest you look into any activism these days. You'll find the word equity has replaced equality. This includes every single Fortune 500 company. That's because of the it's the woke culture. All these companies are going woke. And what happens when you go woke? In most cases, you go broke. Get woke, go broke. And here's the thing. If these companies are going woke and it makes the women happy and the men ticked off, they're going to lose the majority of their revenue from men that were purchasing their products and services. But here's the thing. Who spends the majority of the money? Women. So maybe these companies are going woke on purpose. Excuse me. These companies are going woke on purpose because they're making more money catering things to women because women spend more money than men. That's a fact. You're probably right, but it hasn't yet replaced equality to people shooting the shit on Reddit and Twitter. I'm sure it will trickle down, though. There's a difference between social media and real life. People can hide behind the username. Like, nobody knows who any of these people are here. These are people that have a username, that have an avatar, and they're just talking, hiding behind the computer. My Reddit account, I use my real name, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. I show my picture, right? We're living in a world nowadays where people hide behind the computer and are afraid to identify themselves because they're not willing to deal with the repercussions of what comes out of their mouth. It's hard to validate people's comments that don't identify themselves. World men created? Well, Paulie, listen, no one's coming out and saying that, no one's coming out and trying to bash women when we're saying the world men created. Men did build the world. Men innovated things. They built bridges. They built homes. Now, in the modern world, women are doing the same things. But before this modern era, let's say the last 55 years or so, it wasn't like that. Women didn't want to ever do these things. Women did not want to do these things. Women were happy before all these changes happened, right? It was just a select few women wanted to fight for liberty, and they started convincing more and more women. And because women talk and things spread fast amongst women, right? It caught on, and then it caught on more, and then it took off like a wildfire. Now, a lot of you good women out here, are coming out saying world men created. You would have never said that 55, 60 plus years ago and beyond and before that time. But now, because you've been indoctrinated into this culture of feminism and radical feminism, you're not coming out and saying, wait, don't forget about me. We had a part to do with it. Not back then, you didn't. No, you didn't. I think for the most part, do you think the world would look exactly the same if males and females reversed roles in history? I don't know. Well, that's what's happening. More women are acting like men nowadays and more men are acting like women. The sexual polarity is messed up. That's why relationships are failing. That's where the power struggle is at, and it shouldn't have to be there. We're not acting in our natural essence, our natural biological essence. That's the biggest problem. It's not the fact that women have been liberated and have equal rights and are independent. It's the fact that we're not acting our natural essence. And in many cases, women are doing jobs that require them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy. And when they come home to their guy, they can't turn off that masculine energy, right? So it creates this dynamic that doesn't work in relationships. I think if women learn how to better balance their work and their personal life and balance their masculine and feminine energy, these can get back on track. But I don't see that happening for a while. All I know is that both have equally helped to shape the world. I don't feel like going into detail, but it is sad you think that way. Well, that's the truth, Polly. Polly, that's the truth. Do you think the world will look exactly the same if males and females reversed roles in history? We would be acting opposite of our natural biological essence. And it's already happening, and it's already making things extremely difficult, practically destroying, people wanting to have families and get married. The birth rate is at an all-time low. How much more data do you need, Polly? It's sad you think that way. You can disagree, responds the same woman to Polly. No reason to feel sad. A random person has an opinion, though. Right. That's all I would say about that. To someone that is so deeply indoctrinated into the agenda, like Polly, kitten nose right there, all you can say is that's your opinion. People that, see, the thing is, when people just don't get it and they're unreasonable and they're heavily indoctrinated into the agenda, all you can do is say that's your opinion, which it is. You're not going to change their opinion. You're not. They have to come to that realization on their own. We are at 1 hour and 21 minutes. We're going to be wrapping things up here in about 8 or 9 minutes. So get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now. I'm going to read a few more, and then I'm going to go off the air to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful, and very warm Saturday evening. This is important. Listen to this. Assuming you mean third and fourth wave feminism. When I read this, I'm like, wow, fourth wave feminism? It's already here. In which case, I have some very mixed feelings about it. One of the main things that I liked about it is that this and fourth waves attempt to better understand intersectionality and power dynamics. Well, if we're in the fourth wave of feminism right now, what you're seeing happen is men and women are using social media to try to figure out what's really happening. Women are not happy with the way men are. Men are not happy with the way women are, right? Well, but I'll tell you what's good about this, right? What's good about this is that, more and more men and women are talking about this, and eventually it's going to get to the point of where, hey, is this the way we want life to be? Do we not want to create families anymore? Do we not want to preach marriage anymore? Do we not want to believe in relationships anymore? Are we just going to be a hookup culture? The more and more we talk about it, I'll tell you, over the course of time, at some point, there's going to be a boiling point. And it's going to change. Maybe it happens during my lifetime. I doubt it. I've said it before. I doubt it'll happen in my lifetime. But at some point, this is all going to flip around. However, I don't like their tendency towards the oppression Olympics. I also really don't like the Twitter discourse. Well, people have an opinion. You don't like their opinion, just ignore it, right? People don't understand that just because somebody says something, you don't have to respond to it or agree with it, right? Or make a big deal out of it, right? But some people just like drama because they have nothing else going on in their lives. You need to occupy yourselves with many things in your life to keep your mind off the BS and the drama. I also really don't like the Twitter discourse. Like I just read that. I also feel like there is now no room for disagreement. You either agree with all the feminist talking points or you get canceled. No, you don't get canceled. It's just that you're not going to have them as your audience. Why would you want them as your audience in the first place? Who says you get canceled, right? You know, this whole thing about cancel culture, right? Is it real? Maybe so. But in all honesty, right, if you get canceled by a certain group of people, that was never the right group that you wanted supporting you in the first place. There's always going to be another group of people that are going to believe in what you're doing, and they'll support you. This whole cancel culture is a bunch of crap. I do think that they often cross the line into misandry, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'm also not happy when they defend patriarchal cultures. Oh, sorry, cultutes. What is that? What is that? Some of these words. I think you meant to say culture. Culture is religions because they don't want to be racist. Okay. Well, okay, I'm not going to even respond to that. I like the bit that's more flexible about dating. I now have more choices, including if and when to have children. I don't like the fact that there seems to be no space for nuanced discussions. Let me just read this last one here before I go off the air. Oh, I don't disagree that the way third and fourth wave have gone about it is very poor. True, I agree. In this regard, I think both feminism and TRP fail, if only because they both have a tendency to be very reductionist and with very little proof or no proof at all if they're using evolutionary psychology. They both also lack nuance. In saying that the concept that the issues of a poor black woman and the issues of an immigrant woman from Eastern Europe are different and the awareness of such is something I can credit to them. I don't like the way they're doing it, Oppression Olympics, but the concept behind it is worthwhile. Let me read just one more here because this is very, very interesting. That last one was just a statement. I have nothing to add to it, nothing to comment on it. I am happy with the general effect of feminism, sexual liberation, removing the mandatory aspects of marriage, independence from your family when it does come to marriage, access to higher education, and legitimate access to the workforce, the pill, abortion, emancipation from the male figure in your life. In essence, ma'am, you're basically saying you're happy with the fact that your natural biological essence of being feminine has always been dependent on a man for all these things. And now you don't have to be dependent on the man, right? The stuff I don't agree with often fall under the chronically online takes of online feminists. Stuff like it is internalized misogyny to get plastic surgery. I also more often than not disagree with radical feminists. I disagree with them all the time. And what I call self-hating feminists. Yeah, those women are just angry and bitter. In my opinion, those women don't like that they're women, so they disapprove and shame everything that is feminine. Right, they're basically women that think they have a penis. Those are the women who are viscerally hateful of all things pink, pretty, or cute, and claim it is immature, even if it's not that deep in the first place. And that's how they were raised. They were probably raised by a more stronger father figure, and they didn't have a good mother figure in their life. And if they had a mother figure, maybe their mother was already indoctrinated into this culture, and, they're replicating the mother's behavior. I don't agree with shaming women for non-feminist choices. I agree with you on that. I don't agree that every single decision a woman is taking should be a feminist one or else it is worthy of criticism. I agree with that too. I disagree with putting feminism as the core value that we should ideally aim for. I agree with you, ma'am. I'd actually go, I have a great conversation. We can take on a date. You seem cool. I also disagree with the general sisterhood that feminists want. I don't think we should all be in the same camp and look out for each other because of the simple fact that we have the same genitals. Ma'am, I'm going to give you a big round of applause before I wrap this up. Now that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. All right, folks. I think you get the point on that. That was a very, very good discussion there in the Purple Pill debate forum that got women involved. I really like the fact that these guys in the subreddit Purple Pill debate, they allow women to come in and have a reasonable discussion. I really enjoyed that. And to the bumbling beta that is a wannabe Chad Thundercock, dude, just be yourself, dude. Don't label yourself a beta, but don't want to be a Chad Thunder COCK. Come on, dude. Just be you. Be you. You know? Great posting, though. Great posting, though, man. So, all right. We're going to wrap things up, folks. We are at 1 hour and 31 minutes. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to Critical Mass Blog for being here. And thank you to everyone else who was watching behind the scenes on YouTube, Facebook, and DLive. Unless something major comes up tomorrow, I may even end up doing 2 streams, one from mobile and then one from the studio. So keep it locked here on my YouTube channel, primarily at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. And you won't miss a single thing. With that being said, have yourselves a great night. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to full screen before we wrap it up. There we go. Have yourselves a great night. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.